they're all around you anyway. People who, proclaim to be your friends are around you anyway. Speaking of people who claim to be your friends, yeah, his girlfriend. It's kind of a little like I know his wife died a little while ago. It wasn't very recent, but it's kind of sends the message like you were just waiting for the old bag to croak. You know what I mean? Like when you show up with like
Right.
with the prom queen. You know what I mean, like she probably went to school with your son or something, or maybe she went to school with your son's son. Like it's a young chick that Robert Kraft is like he's just like walking around with her like what to say something. Say something. I don't care.
Yeah, that what money do for
My
you.
man.
Hey, boy.
Get it how you live.
He said, my wife died. I ain't died.
Right.
That's what
You
he
damn
said.
sure didn't. They still make them blue
Yeah.
pills, don't they? He got a bunch of them. He probably got a life
yeah.
supply of them blue diamonds. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, he probably got stock and all that, so he probably get them for free.
my man, good for him. But back to the almost forgot. See, there I am again. Mr. Wells. He talked about, as we discussed in the first hour of the show, the uncooperative nature of the New England Patriots as a whole. Now, bear with me. This clip is kind of long. It's about 58 seconds, but it's full of information. So bear with us real quick.
Jim McNally was the second Patriots person I interviewed. I wanted, after I had interviewed others, to do a second interview of McNally to put certain questions to him. And I had also discovered, after the first interview, one of the most important text messages where Jim McNally not only calls himself the Deflator, but says he has not gone to ESPN ... yet, which is akin, as far as I am concerned, to saying I have not gone to the media yet to report what I'm doing. I asked for a second interview. I said I would go to New Hampshire. I would interview him in the morning, afternoon, night. I didn't care. I would make myself available whenever he was free. And not only did they say I couldn't interview him, they said they would not even tell him about my request.
Oh, boy. Those New England Patriots and that Patriots way up there. Here's the other thing that he cleared up something else right after this. There was a statement made by the Patriots that said that they wanted to interview these guys for the fifth time. And they felt like, we already gave you the information that you needed the first four times. Now, if you were listening closely, you heard Mr. Wells say he was looking for a second interview. He cleared it up. Mm-hmm. What happened was the NFL security interviewed them after the game, and then the day after, and then the third time following that. His interview with McNally and the other gentleman, Jastrzemski, were the fourth time. So as far as he goes, it would have been his second time, and he also cleared up. He also went even further and talked about how the the Patriots felt like the NFL security were in some sort of collusion out to get them, so they would prefer him to just start from scratch. He made mention to them applauding him for choosing to start from scratch. So in his eyes, we're only talking about 2 interviews. We're not talking about the total 5 because he chose to go with their request and start over after the 3 that the NFL security people conducted. That had nothing to do with his investigation. His investigation was independent. It was independent of those 3 interviews, if that makes sense. Hope it does. He went forward. That's the other reason I say too. I just realized that because now it's in my mind. Whenever I'm going from one element to the other, because like I explained to you guys earlier, I'm dealing with this console as well while I'm talking. So while I'm going from one element to the other, like I'm about to play this sound about Tom Brady. As I'm doing it, I'm saying because it's a gap in my thought as I'm thinking about this and not about what I'm saying. So anyway, you don't care about that. Anyway.
No, they don't.
Yeah, just rewind. No. Rewind and cut that from your hearing. Cut that. Take 2. Here we go. All right. So Mr. Wells, Ted Wells, the investigator of Spygate. Oh God, I want to just shoot myself in the brain every time I say it. he talked about the uncooperative nature of our favorite guy in this case, Tom Brady. And this is what he had to say about how Tom Brady and his people were uncooperative as well.
He refused to permit us to review electronic data from his telephone or other instruments. Most of the key evidence in this case come from people's cell phones, and he refused to let us review the phones. And I want to be crystal clear. I told Mr. Brady and his agents I was willing not to take possession of the phone. I said, you keep the phone, Mr. Yee, you give me documents that are responsive to this investigation, and I will take your word that you have given me what's responsive. And they still refused.
And if you heard us in the first hour, Rob made mention to that he actually didn't even want the phone. He just left it up to them to give him whatever information, as he put it, was responsive to the investigation. Here's what else that happened that was funny. Just this little thing that happened with me. As I'm listening to these excerpts, and as I'm cutting them up for the show, is when I found out that Ted Wells was a brother. And immediately, he just started sounding different to me. I don't know what the hell that's about, but he started sounding blacker than me. Like, initially, I thought he was like an older white dude. But then, after I saw his picture, I was like, oh, yeah, I can hear it now. Yeah, he sounds like he really sounds like a brother now. Like, the more I listened, the blacker he started sounding.
But what's funny is that the NFL thought they might have had their man, because this dude graduated from Holy Cross with Clarence Thomas. And they were part of the same African American group, frat or whatever they were part of the Holy Cross. So they might have thought they had their man, and then he flipped on them. He flipped on them today and gave him the real brother.
Good for him.
But he also did the Richie Incognito bullying report.
And he headed up the concussion lawsuit as well for the NFL.
Yeah, so he's been really busy, not to mention some stuff he did up in Washington, D.C., where Scooter Libby got caught with this whole CIA leak thing, and so he's been around. He's been doing some good work.
Oh, he mentioned that whole Richie Incognito thing too, and he was like, "Yeah, I did that report." And what did I hear from anybody? Nothing. No one had a complaint then, but now, because my findings don't line up with what you thought it should be, now all of a sudden I'm not credible, or my independence needs to be called in question. I was like, "Go, dog!" Like I said, he became my dog by the end of my work. I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, dog." I'm just playing. I'm not about him sounding black. I'm not playing about that. He actually started sounding blacker and blacker.
But what's crazy? Oh yeah, because that's his swag. His swag started to come out. The more he started talking, the more it started coming out. But what's crazy is that I forgot all about the bullying thing in the NFL. I mean, because that set up in itself. Because Rich Incognito just got a job a couple weeks ago. How long he had been out of work for? What? He spent
the year. He spent the year on the shelf last year.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of like I said. I mean, there have been several presidents that here in recent memory, and that's one that I completely forgot about.
Yeah, and here's the last thing for me on this particular situation, until tomorrow when something else comes out. But the more and more I think about it, all the people who are stomping their feet and throwing their hands in the air, the Teddy Bruschi's of the world, and all those people that are outside. Some cats got arrested today outside of the NFL headquarters for protesting in Tom Brady jerseys. For all you people, you know what you're doing? You're making it harder for this dude to come out and admit any wrongdoing. Because now, if I do, everybody's wrong. Like, everything that you guys are standing on right now is basically on his shoulders. All you people who are refusing to just wait and hear what he says. Teddy Bruschi, I believe in the man. Wait a minute, Teddy. The report is out now. You might want to back up a little bit, brother. Back up. Because when your man comes out and says, all right, yeah, you got me. When he comes out with that, it's going to be a problem for everybody. For everybody who did that thing, it's going to be a problem. You're going to look like a fool. All y'all talking about, like this one dude yesterday, I don't know what ESPN did. And they do this. They go out and find the biggest idiots they can find. They did it with Bobby Petrino. Remember Bobby Petrino got caught in the back of the motorcycle with the blonde chick? They went out and found the biggest, redneckiest cats in Arkansas to talk about it, which was, by the way, hilarious. Then they did the same thing yesterday. They went up to Gillette Stadium and found the biggest wackos that was, because obviously that's what you are if you're outside of the football stadium in May when nothing's going on, and you're not a reporter with your jerseys on and all this kind of foolishness. Okay, I'm not going to even comment on that. Where was I? Oh, yeah, so one dude is like, yeah, I tell you what should be done. We ought to forfeit the first 4 games, then go on a run and win the Super Bowl. That'll show him. I was like, somebody please go do something bad to his testicles. Like, get the hardest thing you can find and hit him in them quickly. Now, get him off my TV. That's ridiculous. There's other chicks like, yeah, you know what we need to do? At least for the first half of the game, everybody just stay in the parking lot. Listen, people, when are you going to learn? Your little ticket money has nothing to do with the game. It's going to go on. Like, I give more to the game of football sitting in my house and watching it. Because I subscribe to the NFL Red Zone, and guess what? The money that ESPN, CBS, and Fox pays the NFL far exceeds your little ticket money. Stop living that lie. That your ticket, you buy these tickets, so I pay their salaries. You don't. You do not at all. They eat on the road with your money. You know what I mean? Your money is the difference between the big steak and the medium steak. That's it.
Say that. Say that.
You know, it's a hard reality to live with, but it's true. Yeah. We ought to just boycott. Oh, you sound so stupid. And you're on TV sounding that way, too. That's the awesome part about it. You're like, I don't even care how dumb I sound. I'm on TV. And I've got my Adam Vinatieri jersey on from 2002. Idiots. See, again, I'm transitioning, so that comes out of my mouth. Did I play all the Ted Wells stuff, Rob? Did I? Yeah, I did. Brady and Cooperative and all that kind of stuff. All right. Yeah. What better time than now to go ahead and take a look back in the world of sports and tell you guys what happened way, way back on this day.
It's the Sports Kings.
On this day. All right. Robert, James, Aloysius, Ulysses Calloway.
Not my whole name.
Yeah, did that. On this day in 1950, the American Bowling Congress, get this, they abolished its white males only membership restriction after 34 years.
Right. That's right.
That's right. Why none of y'all can't bowl still then? It's been since 1950. These white folks said you can now come in here and bowl, women and black men. And for some reason, y'all still can't do it right. That's a travesty. Including myself. I can't damn bowl either.
Really?
Yeah. I was at the bowling alley
I
one day.
love bowling.
I saw some bros.
I love bowling.
I saw some bros just chunking the ball down the aisle. I'm talking about throwing it, and you know how bros got to do it. They got to cuff it, you know what I mean? So they can whip it in there and hit that big curve on it, that spin on it. I was like, that's really how you do it.
No, that's what I was about to tell you. Hey, man, you never, if you do decide to bowl, you never want to bowl against anybody that went to open campus high school.
That went to what?
Because
what open campus? Is it because they're stupid or because of another reason? What are we talking about here?
No, it's because
two, you got to tell people what open campus is. Because no one knows what you're talking about.
Okay, well, open campus is a high school where you can either go and graduate early because they have double quarters or it was quarters when we went to school, so it was double quarters. Or it allows you to be able to catch up if you're behind their graduation time.
Yeah, most people were there to catch up.
Right. Yeah, most people did. But they had a bowling class because the bowling alley was right down the street. So they had a bowling class. And everybody that took that bowling class knew how to put that funky spin on the ball where it started right by the gutter and then it started curving, and right when it get in front of the pin, the front pin, it just all down. Like, dude, I have not won a game against anybody that went up that high school.
Well, there are benefits to that. You graduated on time,
dude. The last time I really bowled, me and Sean Paul from the Youngblood, we were bowling against each other. This dude had gear his left hand and had the ball on his right arm and rolled that thing out there and put that open campus spin